This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
He runs very deep in terms of what he can provide you with. Insight for your life, answer questions, help us figure this whole thing called the universe out. And he does that as somebody that helps you with your spiritual growth as a astrologer, as a psychic medium, and so much more. And last time we got together with him, he was looking at my, I guess it's my birth chart through astrology and making some connections there. So we're gonna dig back into that, and as an example of what you can find out about yourself and so much more. Lelon joins us once again. How are you doing today?
I'm doing blessed. Great.
Yeah, you
A
had
lot going on, but it's good. I had a death in the family, so I'm dealing with that. But so many good things are going on too.
I'm very sorry about that. I know that you shared that last time we got together, and then there was these crazy storms where you are in
Oh wow, we couldn't do it
Mississippi.
last time.
Right.
Power was down the last time for the
Yeah.
interview. So,
Crazy. So what? Just to clarify, what you did for me, based on my date of birth, time of birth, location,
right.
my full name, was that a astrological birth chart? What would we call it that?
Yeah, it would be your astrological birth chart. There's also a numerological birth chart that can be done. And through the years, I used to do them separate, and now I've found how they correspond and give a lot of the same indications when you look at them deeply. And so I like to use them together. Also, I'll use the tarot. I call it the sacred tarot. To me, it is when I'm doing a private session with people because it really brings up the specifics of what you're going through in your career, your relationships, your health, all that stuff. Astrology does that too, but I find the tarot gets very specific too.
Hmm.
So,
So just for maybe in the very near future, next couple of minutes, do you have cards nearby if we were to pull them
um,
as an example?
no, I don't, but I can tell you, I can talk about them, and tell you, oh, you want something about you, the
I'm just
tarot?
saying as an example, but we could do that next time. Just was a
Let's wait on that. Because it's going to
Hey,
be, see, it might be a little personal.
okay. All right, fair enough, fair enough. So where do we leave off on my chart, and what can you share that I could validate or not?
Okay. Well, the last time I just barely touched on a lot of things, but one thing that I wanted to emphasize is that you're in your what I call the personal year. This is talking numerology. Um, and some of the old textbooks on it would, and I've studied all kinds of history on it, but some of the old texts talk about your personal year vibration changes from calendar year to calendar year. But I've found through the years it's from your birthday to your birthday. So your personal years for you would be September of this past year in 2025. You're in the middle of it,
Okay,
your personal year, because
gotcha.
your new one will start in September of 26. So what I'm seeing is that you're in a 2 year. Actually, it's a 20 over 2
Yep.
reduced to 2. I do count compound numbers as a little more important. But basically, what it's saying is that you want to be aware that you're more sensitive this year, the whole year. You're going to feel maybe a little more intuitive, maybe psychic a little, but definitely more sensitive. So you want to be aware that sometimes when people go through this vibration, they can be a little bit, sometimes they may overreact or they may be a little oversensitive because your sensitivities in your nervous system is more activated. Um, it's a really good year, a T for two, a two for T. It's a great year for socializing and being with people that you care about. You need to discern, because you are more sensitive, who you spend time with. because you don't want to be around people that maybe bring your uh, put a damper on things, or maybe they're a little too negative. They're not in sync with your vibe. You want people
Mm.
that are positive, that you feel uplifted around. Um, and two is a really good year to have if you've been thinking of someone that you need to have a real heart-to-heart talk with about something. It's a good time to think about it first and kind of plan it, especially if
Mm.
it's a real issue. And you want to think about how you're going to say what you're going to say and what you need to say before you have
Yep.
that
Yep.
time. So two is a very sensitized year. It's a really good year to study, especially for you, because studying metaphysics in any of the areas you want to look at is a good thing for you this year. And um, in your astrological chart, you've got a strong emphasis on your 12th, what's called the 12th house, which is the realm of the psychic, the otherworldly, beyond this planet, dimensional, uh, extrasensory gifts, intuition, all of that stuff. This is a really good year for you to delve into that part of your psyche.
So I want to
So that's a
validate
little
for
bit,
you what you're saying
yeah.
here. Um, I'm not saying this, Leland, just to say it. I
Yeah.
feel exactly what you're saying. And looking at relationships, which ones really support, which ones are, I thought it was this, but oh, wait.
Right.
It's really not that. And it's not a bad thing. It's just has a different place than where I originally thought it was.
Well, the
Um,
foundations of some of your relationships may have changed, or maybe you didn't. Sometimes we don't realize relationships until we've gotten to know the person. That's just the way it is.
Sure, sure. But why now? Even if, somebody I met 3 years ago, yeah, they presented as this, and then, well, now I'm seeing it as something different here. Not a bad
Well,
thing.
oh no, and it's complex for you because you have so much going on in the area of your being. I'm looking at the astrological house, but the eighth house is about control issues and how much energy you give to other people, how much energy do you get?
Yep,
So
yep.
you should be assessing that. You're doing it, you have been for a while on a deeper level, like what am I really getting from this? And some people drain us, we
Mm,
have to be aware that some people, it's not that they drain you, it's just that you realize maybe you used to have a lot more in common, but people change. And
mm-hmm.
so
Mm.
you drift apart. And especially also in your career and in other areas of your life where you're feeling you have to be real careful that you don't give I'm saying this like I'd say it to anybody that has eighth house and Pluto stuff going on like you do. You have to be careful of how much you give to people, how much you may give away without realizing it. And in my notes, how did I word it? I made a lot of notes. I have to. There's so much going on. But how did I say that? Just in other words, don't get into the trap of playing control and power games with people. And some of it you can't help. If you're in a position, some people, if they're in a career, you have to kind of go with the flow of where you are. And sometimes people are being taken advantage of, or they're realizing they don't fit anymore a job they
Yep,
had.
yep.
There's power, and people in power over us. Sometimes, if there's somebody in administration over us, some of them are on power trips, frankly, and there's money issues that are more important than the individual. So there can be struggles with that. It could be personal relationships. We mentioned it before when people go through the eighth house stuff, it's like legal documents can come up, joint finances, alimony, child support, taxes, even ownership of possessions and things. And this is a cycle that's not short. It's probably been going on for a while for a lot of people that have eighth house
Mm.
stuff.
Yeah, for
Um,
me, what this is further validation of what
yeah,
I've been doing, and it's more of a uh, prior to the beginning of my year, and I was born
yeah,
in September, so it's September, and like you said, we're about halfway through on me in that period. I'm finding I make decisions sooner. So let's say it's a venture, relationship, whatever. I process it sooner as opposed to, well, just give it more time, another few months, maybe
Well, that was your past.
that was
You
my,
don't, you're changing. You're not doing it like that. You've wised up, It's a
yeah,
wisdom.
pretty much so.
It's a
It's true.
wisdom that comes through experience. And
Mm,
the positive side of that is that there's something going on in the area of your life that has to do with your uh, being creative, like you have incredible mental powers and abilities. You are so good at what you do you're a communicator, you interview people, you probe, but the positive thing is um, this area of creativity in your life is being influenced, is being tapped. And so think of ways, this is your time to be very reflective and introspective about now, what can I do about this
mm.
situation that seems to be making me feel trapped or caged or whatever. What can I, because you're smart and you're creative, so you may need to sit down and make lists and okay, here's the pros of where I am, here's the cons. Um, be creative and think about how to get out of that box, different ways, approaches. Sometimes people just have to do something as simple as taking a risk, which is scary, and checking out other job opportunities or checking out something that may be a little different from what they've been doing, but still will incorporate skills that they already have that they develop, but maybe doing something a little different that's more refreshing, that's more new, something that is going to bring you to new levels of achievement and awareness. And um, it's like I'm trying to put it into words. I'd say, pray about it. Really ask the universe, ask your God. I truly believe we have spiritual guidance for insight into that. And I'm going to say specifically to you, what I see is you're so good. You are very, to me, in tune with metaphysics a lot. I mean, I don't know how deeply you've studied, but you come to contact with people that are in that field and you've learned a lot. And I don't know how far you probed, but you could really merge your career into something more into metaphysical or spiritual issues or topics or psychological or that realm. Um, and
That,
and
honestly, I feel the same exact thing. And it's pulling me. It's drawing me,
I can see that. Yeah.
it's weird. I haven't figured it out yet,
Oh,
but
you have
like I ask for answers.
You will. You will figure it out. It's just a matter of being open and receptive to it and asking God or the divine creator or the universe or your guides and angels, however people want to look at it, ask for, you know, knock and you'll receive, but people have to be open to it. And because we're human and we don't like change. Most people don't, we're scared of change.
Yep. Yep.
But you have to look at, how is it, how's it going for you when you stay secure? Maybe a lot of people are secure and they have, that kind of stability, but is there joy there? Is there happiness? Do you feel like you're thriving? Because people stay in marriages because of security. And well, some of it I understand. I hear stories, people come to me and they're so wrapped up with their partner with financial things and stuff that's so complicated to get out of the web of that. If that's hard, makes it harder to make a
Yep.
change or separate.
But they're probably miserable if
A
they're,
lot of them are, and a lot
yeah.
of the wealthiest people in the world that have all this money and they have all this stuff and they do all this stuff, and then they find it's pretty empty because it's not going to fulfill what you got to find your purpose in life. You
Mm,
know, you want to have three yachts, great, that's fine, nothing wrong with that. But if you're spending all your time on that and you're not looking, how am I making a difference with my life? How am I giving back to the planet? Or am I just thinking of myself? You know, money's great if you use it appropriately, and wealth is great, for yourself as well as for others.
sure. Sure.
But
But you got to feel fulfilled,
yeah,
and I always forget to ask for an answer. I
I
don't know
think many
why.
people do. I mean, and I used to too, and still sometimes I get so wrapped up with stuff I'm doing,
Sure.
I'll forget that my morning ritual and routine is important to sit and ask. And I know that I was taught by my religious beliefs as a kid that were indoctrinated into me that what I heard was, well, you're not supposed to know everything. Only God knows that. And I have found that to be very untrue, and that
Mm,
God, the higher force, they want us to know as much as we can find out to be better people and make the
yep.
world a better place. So, a lot of people get so caught up in there's so much media coming at us and demands and pressure in the times we live in that they don't remember to sit down and have a little 5 minute meditation or ask for help or just be still. And the angels told me a long time ago, very specific. I knew it was angels. They were like, we can't give you as much help if you don't invite us. We
Mm,
want you to invite us. And the divine creator would like for you to make a personal relationship with the divine creator and with your spiritual guides, and not just a lot of us think that we're not holy enough or we're not worthy that we can talk to have interaction with higher forces, and you absolutely can, but you have to request it. And if you only request help when you have a bad accident or everything's going wrong, and that's the only time you go, please God, I'll do better if you.
yeah, right, right, right.
That doesn't work too well. They're like, we'll just spit you out if you
Can I
only
can I
come
share
to.
something with you? Is the
Yeah,
weirdest thing. My
yeah,
phone just buzzed.
yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what's that, and Facebook Messenger, and it's a lady I met in church years ago. I don't even go to the same church. I rarely even go to church.
Right, right.
But here's the weird part. Next to her name, and it was like a group chat,
Oh,
a group message, and the message was Holy Family Prayer. It's just random. But here's why I'm even bringing it up. I look at the message. Her name is Jan. I haven't seen her in years. Next
mhm.
to her name is somebody who she was sending it to named Rosemary. That's my mom's name. Just came in as you're talking.
Mhm.
It's like you
Those
can't
little
like,
synchronicities,
and
those
this.
mean something. Those are
I know.
messages to you. Those are
I
confirmations. Yeah.
and why is it happening at this moment as you're talking about all this stuff? I don't
Well,
know. There's something there.
spirit works through when I have interactions with people like you. Spirit works through, and higher forces will give little messages and synchronicities. And I
Mm.
rarely have anybody leave from a reading where they haven't had something like what you just had happen during the readings. A sign that they just remembered happened yesterday, or it's amazing.
But I don't even know who this Rosemary person is. And
And
why
you
would it
don't
come
have to.
now? Up right. All I know is that's my mom's name, and I asked for a sign from her recently.
That's
It's been a
awesome.
little while,
And you know
and
what? I feel like that was your mom telling you she's with you. That was her way of letting
I
you know,
agree.
you know.
But it was delivered while you're talking about my chart.
Yeah.
Could have
And
came in an hour.
I
Could
have a
have.
lot of I have a lot of times in readings when loved ones who've passed over will give messages and interject, and I'll be like, wow, I don't know where this comes from, but it's from a higher, I do know where it comes from, but it's so unpredictable.
Yeah.
That's what's exciting about what I love, why I love what I'm doing, because no two readings are ever the same.
Oh, I'll bet. I mean, it's wow.
So individual.
So you mentioned life path numbers.
Yeah, yeah.
Mine is an 11.
Oh boy, not only is an 11, uh, there's some major numbers when you look at a number chart, numerology chart, and there's four big ones. Well, some numerologists disagree, but I think there's four major ones, and two of them are 11s. Your 11 life path and what's called your expression, which is what you do best, what you came here to do, and that's 11. So they match. That's a double whammy. It means like your electrical field is just that. It's high electrical. It's like a circuit. Your whole body is like a circuit. That's why this year you can even be more sensitive to energies around you. Um, but what it also means is that you're great at inspiring people. You're great at bringing down. And sometimes when you're speaking, just like what I do, you're doing it. Sometimes you don't know it, but you're channeling. You are tapping into when you whoever you're talking to without knowing it, you with your extrasensory abilities, you're picking up on stuff before they even say it, or you're confirming stuff to them as you're going along. You're an inspirer. 11s are born to be on a platform, meaning the stage. Like Tony Robbins, he's high 11 energy. I've looked, I've spent a lot of time looking at different people's charts in history and famous people, and I'll just tell you, if you want to talk about 11s, uh, let's talk about both Barack and Michelle Obama have high. Now, I'm not just talking about their life path. You have to look at the whole chart, and sometimes these are numbers within their names. There's sub numbers, but they're important when you have an 11, a 22, 33, all those master numbers. Uh, okay, Jimmy Kimmel, you know, he's on stage all the time in front of the public. Stephen Colbert. These are 11 people.
Wow. Didn't
You
even
know,
know.
all these people. Tony Robbins, Mozart. You know, Bill Clinton. I mean, you know, Houdini, Jackie Kennedy. These are people that come into this world and they bring something extra to the planet. They have special gifts and abilities. You know, I could go on and on. Sally Field, Tom Hanks. Uh,
Had
who
no
else?
idea. And 11 resonates so much for me in that it's also, as I understand it, if you take my name, that comes out to an 11.
Yes,
Uh, my dad died on the 11th. If you look at my address right now, it's three numbers. Add them up, it's 11.
that's right.
I didn't pick it. It
No,
just
you
showed
didn't.
up.
Well, when you add your name up, that's what I meant by your expression number, what you do there.
Gotcha.
That's
Gotcha.
your 11. But your life path, your birthday numbers added together is an 11. So, I mean, that's big. Plus, you got a 33. I mentioned to you last time in your last name that comes out under your last name. Um, and it's from the consonants. People don't realize how much information is in your name. There are
Mm.
no accidents. Oh, my mama just chose that name out of the blue. She thought she did. There's higher powers that have to do with vibrations we bring in to this planet. Um, you got the number eight strong. Heart, let's see, it's part of your last name. Um, the letter Z, the letter H, anybody that has those prominent Z's and that's the number A is power, it's authority. Um, Sometimes it's not just in the person's name. You'd have to look deeper in the chart and add up different numbers to see their the powerful numbers. You know, there's also there's the positive. There's a spectrum to numbers. There's a positive and negative. There's a spectrum. Some people will vibrate, for example, to 11 in the positive, and they'll get some people like a Jeffrey Dahmer or a Ted Bundy. He had 11s and 22s, Ted Bundy, and he used it
Mm. Wow.
very effectively for the dark end of the spectrum. You know, so it's the same thing with 22s or any other number. Um, but
Mm.
you know, 11 is very powerful for you. You've got a 22. You got a big V in the name Steve. Now, 22s are people that um they plan, they're master strategists. They don't just climb the ladder, but some of them are gifted and it's God given, but most of them have to, you know, work and plan and take steps and manage and strategize success for themselves. And you can look at people in history. Queen Victoria, there you go. Victoria. Vladimir Putin,
Mm.
Vladimir
Wow.
Lenin. And then there's I can't pronounce his first name, Zelensky, but it starts with a V, Volodymyr,
Vladimir. Yeah.
Volodymyr, something like that. Um, you got Van Gogh, you got Valentino, you got Voltaire, you got Giuseppe Verdi, you got the Vanderbilts, you know,
Yeah.
you could go on and on and on. But it's not just the fact that they have that, like you have to look at their lives and you see the proof that they either were gifted that because on a soul level they earned it from other lifetimes or whatever, or they've worked really hard to get it. Um, and I just love studying all of that, like with people and the background in their numbers. Um, you
It
know,
is it is super cool when you start, and how can you deny all those names? As you're presenting mine, like there's so many pieces of information
oh
all
yeah,
around us,
oh yeah.
but we don't see it.
Well,
We
there's
don't.
some people that have the master numbers, that indicate special abilities above and beyond the ordinary, but some of them never manifest it. Some of them never step out of, because it's a big deal. When you have 11 strong, a 22 strong, 33, 44, it's a big responsibility. And a lot of people some people just can't meet up to it. It feels too big of a challenge, too burdensome. And you have to like be ready to become someone that gets attention, that might get enemies because you're gonna be out there in front of the world, and you may have views, and you may have, if you're in politics, or if you're a celebrity, you got to face the fact that not everybody's going to like you when you are that powerful of a person. So you want to be sure that you try to be balanced, and that you try to work from the positive end of the spectrum of that number, and not the negative. And I could sit here and name some names of people, some politicians and powerful people in the world with 22s, and they're not moving in the right direction with how they're using it.
Hmm.
Because the negative is ego and power for the sake of power and fame and greed, money. That's the negative end of it, and it's everywhere out there too.
This is fascinating that all you had was my date of birth, my name, time of birth, location. And as I understand, it doesn't even have to be the exact location. It could be just, within a city.
Oh yeah.
And you can pull that stuff. Fascinating.
Well,
Leland,
you're also in a nine cycle, and you're in a nine pinnacle that match. There's four major pinnacles in a person's life, and there's three major cycles. You're in the third final cycle, which it lasts usually from the mid 50s till somebody's 120. It can go on, whatever. But you're also in a matching pinnacle nine. So that's the altruistic, humanitarian people person, somebody who's good with conversing with all kinds of people from all walks of life. So all of that is just highlighted for you.
I state facts. I volunteer in 3 hours from right now. I'll be master of ceremonies at Scouting America's event in our region. And last night, the Girl Scouts. I'm on the board. I was doing
But
the same thing.
that's the kind of mind and communication skills you have. You're very gifted. I mean, you were born Virgo, which is ruled by Mercury. So it's Mercury, you're mercurial anyway, and you're detail oriented, but you're probing. You go deep with details. When you interview, you ask people interesting, not just superficial stuff. And to add to that, your Gemini rising, which is air, and your moon is in Libra, which is an air. Air, those are the three, those are air signs. It's like you're very, very intellectual, but at the same time, there's other things in your chart that show that you've got empathic, intuitive abilities, emotional uh, gamut, but you're very, very smart and good at communication. And that's why you can do all those things and juggle them.
But
It's the
Leland,
fun.
I only figured after decades of doing this, I only figured that out a few years ago. I'm not even kidding. And,
Yeah,
and
but at least you become aware of it.
yes, thanks to people like you. But even where you say about the channeling,
Yeah.
I've thought that. Like
You
sometimes I
do
don't
it
even know what
without thinking. That's
it's
right.
just like auto that it's, and I
Right.
remember when I was first doing podcasts, I'm like, I gotta be prepared. I gotta write everything down because I'm a
You-
Virgo. Let me make sure. And it's like after the first podcast, I'm like, I'm not doing that. I don't need to. It's just
It's
like,
automatic. And
it's that's
11s are
weird.
naturally channelers. Like a Tony Robbins doesn't always know exactly what he's going to say. People that Bill Clinton has a lot, they've studied, they have a plan, they've got experience, they know knowledge, but then the master computer, it's all there, and you go on automatic, and there's a higher power that will make some things spontaneously come through, you know.
I guess it comes down to finally having faith and
It
trusting
does.
that, all right, I don't have to worry about it. It's going to happen by itself. This is fascinating. And again,
If
not
you've
about
done your
me.
homework.
It's just about this is an example of how this works. And I'm not here to say, Lelon, you were right just because you're here. Everything you're saying is like, it's like almost like you're reading my mind. And even at the beginning here, where you were saying, looking at relationships, but very intentionally, what is taking away power? What is not? What supports? And, I'm not like, I hate that, like that thought of like being the king on the hill, like you be gone, you don't support. No, it's just, everybody's on a different journey, but I see it more clear this year than I ever did before.
And it's okay for you to be king of the hill of where you are. If you're not being egotistically arrogant, but you're
No,
just
no.
being yourself, there's nothing wrong with that. And what's the other thing? I don't know. So many. Like, you're saying I'm reading you. No, I'm reading your charts.
Yeah.
And I'm reading you a little, but I didn't even try to do that today. That would be sitting down with the tarot and calling on extrasensory stuff. But you just have incredible birth chart information. You're doing well. But I know there's a lot of changes you're going through and have been going through, and everybody's shifting. There's so much stuff going on.
Yep. Yep.
People need to ground themselves and have a time to reflect and meditate and pray, really.
And I'm feeling I'm lean on that, and I need to. And I'm not forgotten where you said you went into isolation for a
Oh yeah,
significant period of time,
years. Yeah.
and I think about that, what that was like, what you got from that. I find it like fascinating. I really do.
Well, I did that way back,
Yep.
and then this past, let's see, how many? It's this past 10 years. I'm speaking presently. This past 10 years, I've been very hermit, introverted. Now I see my clients and I may go shopping, but I don't, I don't hang out around a lot of population.
Mm,
I don't go out and do a lot of stuff because I'm not interested.
mm,
I'm feeling pulled to go deeper and deeper
yep.
into all of the things
And plus, when you do, there's energy out there, and that
uh,
can take away from you as well. We're out of time. We're
no.
we're over time. I can keep going, but I want everybody to know Lelon, Lelon.us. If you want some insight, spot on. Like I can't punch a hole in anything you said
Oh,
to say
wow.
that. No, I don't agree with that. And I'm not here to agree just to agree. Like, it's there. Like, you're saying what's, aside from me not knowing about notable people that are 11s. That's new to me. Find it interesting. I'll be researching that
Yeah,
further,
absolutely. It's
just because.
fascinating.
Thank you so much for today. Thank you for being here. Really cool.
Oh, it's a pleasure. I enjoy it every time. Thank you.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.